The shaman is like an MRI. He or she sees. And when he or she sees, they're not seeing you not only in your physical form, but seeing your koshas. So let's say there are six folks. One comes in and then is gifted with the glass of the medicine, of the honey. And one accepts it and does a salutation, an internal salutation, an external salutation to the shaman as being a guide. They are there, uninvited disruptors. Why? And what could be the disruptors? You've asked that little monkey of the mind to chill. But that monkey of the mind is persistent. I love solution-driven and a beautiful book of rules. I love it. The life doesn't quite work that way. Very casual, just to get a feel of everyone.
Okay.
Right? Get a feel. Now, mind you, the shaman is like an MRI. He or she sees. And when he or she sees, they're not seeing you not only in your physical form, but seeing your koshas. Annamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha.
Okay, so they get to know.
They get to know the code. Let's call it the code of your energy.
Okay, got it.
And that's all. That is information.
Do they read the thoughts also? Do they get to know what I think?
Oh yes. Oh yes. It's not that it's a big deal, but it just reveals itself. Mind you, we enter there with that purpose. May not I even have a speck of thought that can dilute the purity of my essence? That's a very elegant statement, of course.
Yes.
But ultimately, if we have quality of thoughts that refine you, then that's what we are feeding. And that becomes your takeaway. Well, that's ultimately the objective.
Okay.
Or the intent, not objective. That's the intent of the whole ceremony. Is for the refinement from a hard crust to be tempered so that the jewel of the inside is flourished.
Beautiful. Yes. Okay.
Right? So we got together now, and then food is also provided, etc. And proportionate food to prepare you for the ceremony. I mean, there are other things that go before that, where you don't overindulge yourself into various other environments.
So you're preparing your body to be in the ceremony.
Yes, you're preparing your entire system. Body is one.
Okay.
Body is one mentally, because the moment you come into a jungle environment, the jungle influences you. It calms your mind. Or if someone from a city all of a sudden finds yourself in a jungle, they may be, oh my God, and we've got enough downloads. You walk, you may see a snake, or you may see something, and you don't know. So you're scared to go in.
Yes.
Right? So
possible.
These are all the attributes. So when I used to go to such ceremonies, then sometimes the shaman doesn't take a walk, doesn't go. So he'll ask me to lead a group in. So while I lead a group in, I convey all this to them. So every step that you take, be aware of not only how the pressure of the step is, so that you are observing the lightness of your being, not heaviness of your being, the lightness of your being.
Okay.
Because ultimately we are a bunch of electrons in a complex molecular system.
Sweet.
So you're sort of preparing.
Yes.
You're preparing the entire mental field. And as you prepare the mental field, your alertness increases.
Okay.
These are natural outcomes. So you're essentially subliminally preparing yourself for the ceremony.
Okay.
Then So become nice, even engagement. You begin to see the evenings. You take a nap because you've traveled, and there are hammocks outside where you can lie down and swing away. But everything is quiet. Nobody chatters. All that. There's no chattering,
Okay.
and
Okay.
you are very much in your own space, which is important because you are there for you.
Right.
Hmm?
Yes. Yes.
You're there for you.
Yes.
As this gradually begins and then the dusk sets in, then you're already conveyed as to the evening's event when we all come together, etc. And what kind of clothing to wear. You don't wear tight clothing.
Okay. Okay.
You want to wear loose clothing because even the soft tightness is constricting, because that's how sensitive your whole system becomes
Okay.
once you begin to drink the honey
Okay.
of the ayahuasca spirit. So all that is curated. Now we come in, and it's like a roundhouse, very open, thatched, right? Thatched, and depending on the number of participants, you will have a mat, maybe a little long cushion where you can lie down, and then a throw, like a blanket or a small quilt. And that's more like towards the course of the ceremony to feel that you are being nourished and nurtured.
Okay.
Like back to a child inside the womb. And then the shaman, be it male and female, sometimes you will have 3 of them in there.
Oh, okay.
And not just one person.
Okay. Okay.
So this depending upon the location, depending upon what is the shaman's availability to be there. It could be both, or it could be one, or it could be 3.
Okay.
I've been in ceremony with 3
Okay. Okay.
altogether. And each one will sing independently.
Okay.
Or one may go directly. So now everyone is sitting initially. They're all sitting. And the shaman just gives an overview as to how the process for the evening is. And also will say that if anyone feels that they require to go out, remember, please request that you want to go out, because once we begin the ceremony, this is a space that is completely protected. It's a protected space.
Okay. Okay.
Because we are invoking the spirits of nature. We are invoking the spirit of the goddess.
So there will be a boundary.
Essentially, the roundhouse is the boundary.
Okay. Okay. And
only one entrance.
One entrance.
Only one entrance.
So when you said invoking natural spirits of the forest, will there be other kind of spirits?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. Yes, yes. So everyone is conveyed, and then the preparation is ready. So let's say there are six folks. So one comes in and then is gifted with the glass of the medicine, of the honey, and one accepts it and does a salutation, an internal salutation, an external salutation to the shaman as being a guide, and then asking the Great Spirit, what we covered earlier.
Yes.
What is it that you really wish? What is it that you really wish to be in receivership from the intelligence of ayahuasca?
Okay. How would the medicine taste?
Oh, well, it's not very pleasant smelling. It's actually a very, very deep molasses color.
Okay.
Extremely deep, like if you take jaggery, right? And when you boil jaggery, you get a very deep brown, right? That's the kind of color it has. And,
The color is of jaggery and the taste?
and the, well, not, I wouldn't say it has a taste that can evoke a gag reflex.
Okay. Okay.
It's not sweetened or anything like that. It is the natural, and even the bouquet. Even the bouquet is not something that's very pleasant. It's like drinking neem. Imagine if you pulverize the neem leaf and you make a nice little potion out of that, you know that this is super good for you.
Yes.
But you reject it all the way, but you know you got to take it.
Yes. Oh, okay. Got it. Understood.
Right? So it's like the neem,
Okay.
as an example.
Okay.
I mean, the neem is actually softer.
Oh, that's a good.
The neem is actually a
reference.
little softer
Okay.
in its tonality.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you take it.
Okay.
It goes down.
Mm.
You go sit.
Mm.
And you just go sit.
Yeah.
Observe your mind. Important. And this happens with everyone.
Everyone.
Right?
Mm.
So while you go there and sit,
Mm.
just be in observation.
Mm.
Don't think about what am I going to expect. Now see, this is all conditioned mind behavior.
Right.
And conditioned mind behavior is like a monkey that will go for a free-for-all if you give it roof.
Yes.
And if you give it the free-for-all, it can take you on not the best trajectory.
Okay.
So you individually have to have a boundary. You got to set the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a chat with that little monkey. Hey, chap, thanks a lot. I appreciate and value you. But for this session, take a hike.
Mm.
Go ahead. Take a hike. Take a trip. Go to sleep.
Okay. Okay.
I just want to be able to see with my whole being.
Okay. Okay.
Fair enough. So you have a chat, and with that,
Okay.
now the shaman, everything is quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll hear this coming out of the shaman
Okay.
or the group of them. So what they're essentially doing is clearing space.
From where? What?
They're clearing the space, meaning now this is a sacred setting. And a sacred setting is a setting of power.
Okay.
So there are also entities, uninvited entities, that will gradually want to partake to disrupt the peace in an environment, like in a yagam. As an example. I can tell you about that too.
Okay.
In studies we've done, 81 hours of a Mahayagam.
There are
With
interruptions.
infrared cameras looking at unwanted entities.
Okay.
But that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
The same thing happens
Very
here.
intriguing. Okay.
In any ceremony,
They come to disrupt?
they are there, uninvited disruptors.
Okay. Okay.
Why? And what could be the disruptors? You've asked that little monkey of the mind to chill. But the monkey of the mind is persistent and wants to trouble you. Now, that's an entity.
Okay. Okay.
The shaman is able to pick up all that because they can see it. We all have information, as we would call an energy field or an aura, right? They can see that.
Okay. Okay.
Even though there's no light, mind you. There's no light.
It's pitch dark.
Night has
Set.
late evening into the night has just set in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a glow. You glow. All of us glow.
Okay.
The shaman sees that glow.
And he picks up that extra unwanted part.
And is able to see what is also affecting. Because by now, the medicine, the honey,
started working.
has begun to evoke. So what it's actually doing is stirring a cauldron inside of each one. Like the cauldron that went on here.
For you.
Right. So it's stirring the cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be a completely first time event to many,
Yes.
right? A first time event to many. So when that cauldron is stirred, all kinds of conditioned thinking comes and interfaces. Oh God, what's that? And we all say that. Oh my God, am I okay? Oh my God, what am I going to do? But somewhere deep inside, you know that there's the protectors are there. And that gives you a sense of calm for a moment.
Yes.
So meanwhile, this agitation, that is the stirring that's going on, is also a conductive energy system. Because thought can be supportive thought, it could also be destructive thoughts.
Okay.
All that is
Getting churned.
in the churning.
Okay.
When the shaman picks all that up, is when they go, shh,
Okay.
and the whole room resonates, or the whole roundhouse resonates, and it stirs the air.
Okay.
Why do I know that? Because I make notes. I'm running a system that is capturing the capacitance between the molecules in space.
Okay.
And I can look at not immediately, after I analyze it, because I make notes at all these event
Happened.
occasions, right? Event occasions. So I have a thesis work ahead of me
Okay.
once the ceremony begins. And a thesis work now to begin to analyze the data. While I have the research hat on, unaffected. The medicine is in me. The medicine in me, and it's doing what it's doing.
Okay.
Because I've already asked a very clear question. And the medicine knows exactly what to do. So for many of those who are the first timers, all this swirls inside of them. So these begins to clear, and when that space is cleared, now 1, 2, 3, they would begin their chanting, their incantations. And as they begin their levels of incantations, now you begin to see the rhythm of the room starting to gather power.
Okay.
There's power in the room. And as the power begins to grow within each one, their system is also transmuting.
Okay.
Literally, when I use the word transmutation, it is like the journey of a caterpillar to becoming a butterfly. And I'm not kidding here.
Okay.
This ain't kid stuff. This is transformative.
Okay.
In terms of when you are in that level of observation. Don't say you're going to get it right away, but everything is an engagement. And the moment you begin to see it from that perspective, fear will naturally disappear. It will go. Each one of us carry our issues in our tissues. No? So all that is stirred up.
Okay.
All that is stirring. And then, but before the storm, there is all that stirring. Then the storm comes. And it pounds the daylights out or the night lights out. And then there's a nice calm after that. And it's refreshing. It's fresh. Well, the same
Happens.
dimension occurs inside of us because we are a universe unto ourselves.
So while this churning is happening is where physically also they purge. I mean, vomit also. Some
So that's what takes place. To some, it just comes out. And that's why you have buckets
Okay.
on the side. That's why you have buckets. And then you go out. You out it goes into the bucket. It's all fine. It's all fine. It is part of the cyclical process of centrifuging out.
So it is physically also churning, mentally, emotionally. It's churning everywhere.
Tutto. Tutto means full.
Full. What happens after the ceremony? What impacts a person goes through and what changes will he experience?
So let's sort of take what I've observed over a full duration of a ceremony, like 5 days. 1 day of rest, 1 day of rest, no ceremony, and just like 2 continuous days, 1 day of rest, and then 2 continuous days. Essentially, a lot of the stuff that's been stirred happens predominantly in day 1 or night 1.
Okay.
Lots of stuff.
Okay.
The following day is almost like to be completely in yourself, talk less, be close to nature, eat light, be close to nature, that's rest, so that you're allowing the body internally, the language within, to be contained.
Oh, okay.
Not
Distracted.
like a rain shower, not like a sprinkler to be out. The sprinkler is within. Then again, night 2, more of the churning occurs. So more of the churning occurs, but this time you have gained strength over the monkey of the mind. Then that shows, because the strength shows in the chakras.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm tying all this together now.
Yes.
Like stitching it all together.
Okay.
Right? Then you have a day of rest, and in that day of rest, we'll go for a walk. We'll go for a walk in the forest, go by the water, and there we don't go splashing, no loud talking.
Just calm.
It's almost having a silent retreat. So be with your thoughts. Be with your thoughts, be with your observations, don't overthink. Just be.
Okay. After the 5-day ceremony, when people go back to their own lives, how do they see the change? What changes do they observe?
So here's consistently sort of what occurs. So by the time night 2 is over and we have day 3, there's a real evolution that's begun. The real evolution that's begun. The chakras have shown strength. I mean, now they are in their power. So strength is power. Night 4 comes along. Now it's really up the bar even further.
Right. Okay.
Night 5 comes along, and there's a kind of sadness. Oh God, now I've got to go back into, quote, the words, the real world.
Right. Yes.
Right? I'm going to go back in the real world. So the chakras shrink a little, but they don't shrink to where it was in the beginning.
Okay.
So there has been a definite empowerment that has taken place.
Okay.
Right? Now we all have to come to terms that all this beautiful arena that we were in, this beautiful paradiso we were in, has to come to a continua. Important takeaway, which is what the shamans convey. It's not that they're gone. They give guidance and advice.
Okay.
How to integrate again back into the world in which they came from.
Okay.
But to see the world in which they came from with a refreshed eye. So you have done the due diligence of observing your strengths and areas that you have strengthened. Now hold that. That becomes your completely rechargeable battery.
Oh, interesting.
You don't lose it. You're supposed not to lose it.
So it's for life?
Wait, I know. You're pushing the pedal quite a bit here. I know you want quick answers too, but that's fine. I know you're speaking on behalf of quite a large sector of humankind. Nonetheless, this battery that's been charged is also a battery that doesn't require refills,
Interesting. Okay.
provided
Huh.
you play the right tune.
And
Everything is a harmonic.
okay.
So, what's the tune? Is the rhythm of life. When we cycle in with the rhythm of life, then a term I think you wanted me to also address about entropy. We'll save that for another chapter.
Yes. Yes.
Right? But the entropy of life, we can either minimize the level of entropy, or if we revert, we should be able to recalibrate very quickly because we've come from a place where we've shed. We've shed. We've shed a cloak out. And
Yes.
we have rebirthed. So that aspect of rebirth is to be kept at the forefront.
Okay.
That's what the cobras spoke to me. It's a rebirthing. And the rebirthing is to regain that power, because once you have it, you don't need to hold on to it, because the more you hold on to it, the more you're going to be in conflict with yourself. You know it's there. So live.
Okay.
But live with preciseness. Engaged. Vibrant. Right? And recognize that life is a ceremony. Everything that you do, everything.
We've come back to the Shodhyatra.
We come back to the Shodhyatra.
Yes.
And anytime we find ourselves being strayed, that's okay. That's okay. No one's here to castigate you. You are your own best friend, ultimately. But recalibrate so that you regain the power that you connected with.
Interesting. Beautiful, Krishna. Actually, many people think that ayahuasca could be a magic pill, could solve their problems, could find the new me, the enlightenment could happen. But the way you explained, it is a process, and it is like you said, it's like getting rid of a big part of that which is holding you back. And that's what the ceremony does. One final wrapping kind of a question. How many ceremonies should one go through? Or is it one ceremony, if they go through, will that solve their thing and touch the stillness?
This, I would say, is very much defined towards the individual.
Okay.
The individual itself. Till they are at a comfort zone on their own accord. I've come across people who had high levels of addictions, who completely, it was like a history. They have completely transmuted.
Okay.
Entirely transmuted. And for them to even look back, it's so remote anymore.
Wow. That's a life-changing thing.
That is. And there are multiples. I mean, there have been wonderful professionals who are NDs, who have immersed themselves very deeply into the understanding of the great spirit of the great wine, ayahuasca, and have led addicts, literally the word addicts in their term, to ceremonies and conducted ceremonies where their addictions have completely been like they never existed.
Okay.
It's a rebirthing.
It's a
So aspects like that do occur.
Okay. How about problems like physical ailments or relationship challenges? How does this get well?
Take relationship challenges as an example. Right? I mean, any relationship, always glorious when it begins. And then they all have their little nuanced moments of life.
Yes.
Right? And they are like riding the ocean. You know, sometimes the ocean is nice and calm, then it gets a little turbulent, then get very choppy, and who knows what. But we need to ride the waves and not react to them. The takeaway from here is that we begin to see less reactive tendencies
Okay.
and more observant, because you begin to look inward too. Just so we'll take a cited example in a relationship. So one of the members says boop, 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 and yells, right? And the other one just listens, does not go back and go boop, 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 boop,
Okay.
right? But rather, it takes strength to just be in observation and be able to look very lovingly at this that's occurring. It's like a big storm that's coming. And this big storm that has come, ultimately it'll peter away, no? But if we keep feeding it, we are charging. And then the consequences are not favorable, but afterthought is too late.
Yes.
So one of the strengths that you are gifted with is the ability and the capacity to be more inwardly observant of oneself, and thereby being tuned to your external world. And then there's no longer a reactive outcome. There will become much more of a loving observation.
Okay.
Because that's what connected one to begin with.
True. Yes.
Right?
Yes. In the beginning, it was that.
Correct, exactly. So that one goes through iterations. Understandable. We live in a very complex world today. And these iterations have multiplicities of engagements and layers and lifestyles, and the list goes on.
So the person after this ayahuasca ceremony will be able to observe inward and then respond right. More than a reaction.
Respond. Now, I love solution-driven and a beautiful book of rules. I love it. The life doesn't quite work that way. No, it's very dependent upon the ability of the individual who has been gifted with the Shodhyatras of ayahuasca to now utilize it in this world where you are engaged in. And it not only is in relationships, but again, when we talk about relationships apply to all sectors of life.
Right.
It is every sector of life. And one of the key observations will be that you become less judgmental. You'll be less critical. You'll be more in observation.
Beautiful. This conversation had been, I think it was a roller coaster conversation, from the good spirits to unwanted entities, and how before and after it will impact a human. This was a beautiful journey. This itself looks like an ayahuasca ceremony to me. Thank you so much, Krishna. This has been the studio, I can tell you, has an amazing vibration. The energy is something I could feel. Thank you so much. You have brought Mother Ayahuasca here and blessed us all with this experience. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I give great kudos to all our wonderful spirit beings who are always with us. See, and that's the, in pictures, you see folks with halos around the head. All of us have halos.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, of course. All of us do.
Okay.
Right. So that radiance is a natural outcome. And this is not some hypothesis.
Okay.
It's spot on. It's spot on. And I speak with the science hat on and the research that we've done. And so to us, the greatest wish in what your engagement is to really serve the value component to the quality of life while we are in these turbulent straits no pun intended, is for the well-being of all.
Thank you.
Yes.
And like I said, the intent was to hear it from the shaman about the ceremony and how divine it is and how people should go take it as a Shod Yatra. Thank you so much.
Aho mita kui oayasin.
Adeda. Thank you. And that's a wrap for today's The Life Grids conversation. So, yes, please, we really need you to press the like button, subscribe button, and the share button. It really means a lot for us. We enjoy doing this. We are really happy doing all these things. But please comment how this episode was and what we can improvise. We definitely wanted to do better with every episode. So, yeah, there are fun bloopers and behind the scenes on the Instagram. So visit us there too. See you soon with another free flow casual conversation with lot of good insights. Till then, take care. Let's explore every moment of life.